What's up, guys? This is Justin on all daily fantasy sites, JUHSTIN, also known as Tone on most of the forums on any daily websites. Now, I just want to go ahead and get to it and go ahead and show you how to use my optimizer that most of you have purchased by now. And let's get to it. First, I do want to give a big shout out, though, to Jeff from OptimizeLineups.com. He did help me with the exclusion of all teams portion of my spreadsheet. Other than that, the whole thing was built by me. Secondly, I do want to give a big shout out to BasketballMonster.com. I do suggest you sign up with them. The reason I'm shouting them out is I use their projections for almost everything that I do every night, and I've been very successful doing so. All right, let's get to it. Let's go to BasketballMonster.com, get started. Go ahead and get the projections for the day. What I typically do is go straight to the website, hit Daily Tools, click on DFS Projections, scroll down. I make sure this is selected on all players for the night. When I do that, I go ahead and hit export to Excel. Once I export it to Excel, you'll notice if you're on Google Chrome at the very bottom left here, it'll go ahead and download. You can just click that and it'll open it up. If you're on another browser or anything, just go ahead and find it in the download section, open it up. Whenever you do, you'll have to click Enable Editing. Once you do that, I always like to, see the player's name, so I always fix the column. Now, guys, one thing you have to remember every night is my optimizer is built for only 200 players. So with that being said, you need to go down to the row 200, and then from 201 down, you need to get rid of any of those players that are listed below that. And let's be real, if you're playing with any more than 200 players on any given night, or anybody below 200, the top 200, then you're probably not doing well in fantasy. Or FanDuel, that's for dang sure. So, anyways, let's get to it. Now, guys, with that being said, let's go ahead and open up the optimizer. So I'm going to go to my desktop here. I got it right here on the desktop for easy access for every night. And once you open it, it's time to go ahead and copy over all the information from the spreadsheet we got from Basketball Monster. So let's go ahead and copy the names. We're going to hit Control-C, or you can always right-click and hit, copy the old school way. With your keyboard, though, if you hit Control-C, it will copy the names. It'll copy the entire column. And then I go over to this column. I'll hit Control-V, or you can right-click and hit Paste, either way. Once again, like I said, I like to, make it look organized by spreading out the column there. Now, guys, we can't forget the position. So let's go over to the new sheet. Find the position column. We're going to copy it. We're going to go ahead and paste it. I'm going to slide it in there, make it look a little better. Now, next is team, the team that the player plays for. So let's go ahead and get that real quick. I'm going to copy that. I'm going to go ahead and paste the team in that column. Now we need opponent next. So let's go ahead and get the opponent. Who are they playing tonight? Over here. I'm going to copy that column. I'm going to paste it into the optimizer. Next, we need the price tag or the salary. Let's go over here to the other sheet. We get the price tags for the night. Let's paste them into the optimizer. And lastly, we need the value, or in most of your sheets, guys, it'll probably say my projections right here. It can say anything it wants. It doesn't matter. Values, projections, anything. Now, let's go ahead and get that column, though. The reason I have it as value is because Basketball Monster, their column for value is their projections for the night. So let's go ahead and copy that over. Go ahead and paste it. I like to organize it. Like I said, I want to see the full number there. So I'm going to do that. Now, all right, guys, one thing I always say to do is always scroll down to the very bottom. Always make sure that, you got your top 200 there. Make sure everything's good to go. And so far, it looks like everything's good to go tonight. Now, sometimes you'll notice, though, under the salaries column, some players, if you're on Basketball Monster or using Basketball Monster, it'll have like a 0 for them for the night, just because they don't know if they're going to be out for the night or if they're coming back or whatnot. If you notice, though, whenever I put a 0 there, it actually gives an error over here. That's not good. You got to make sure that, all of these are filled in, all of the salaries are correct. So make sure by checking FanDuel that what the salary is, and always make sure that's correct. And that goes also, guys, for the team, the opponent name and stuff like that. The team name and the opponent name. If I got rid of Memphis here, it would actually cause an error, right here. So you want to make sure you don't get rid of stuff like that. Make sure everything's filled in. Now, real quick, I'm just going to go ahead and delete something that I had in here from last night. I'm going to go ahead and put a 0 here. I'm going to go ahead and change all this to 0 so it looks just like your spreadsheet that you have. Now, guys, I've pasted everything in. I've got the position, the name, the team, the opponent, the price, and the value of my projections, which, like I said, is what it says on most of your spreadsheets. I'm ready to go. Before I hit start, though, before I do that, I want to show you a few other things. Let's look over here on the column W and X. It says customize projections weight. This is how you can actually allocate which percentage of the projections you want from these three columns. Now, to kind of break that down in layman's terms, you can go to different websites and actually paste in different, projections. So, say like another website had, these guys projected at these numbers that I'm typing in at the moment. You can actually take and do 50% of my projections and then 50% of the other website's projections, and that, in this square right here. And what that'll do is it'll actually take this column and this column, and it'll give you the average right here. So you can average out, three different websites if you want by changing these columns over here. I actually like to use Basketball Monster 100% of the time, so I'll do 100% of Basketball Monster, which is this column. I'm going to actually just reset this column for, the video purposes. Now, over here, guys, you can set the number of lineups. You can put, 200. You can put 25. I like to do the top 3 every night. That's the best, I think. That's the best of the best if you do the top 3. Now, before we hit start, once again, over here in the exclude column for the teams, this is what Jeff gave me from OptimizeLineup.com. I appreciate it, bud. You guys can go in here and say Boston plays tonight. You can go ahead and X Boston off, and it'll exclude anybody that plays for Boston, like Isaiah Thomas it just did. And it'll do that down this entire row, just so you guys are column, just so you know, anybody that plays for Boston will be excluded for the night. However, I'm going to go ahead and reset that because that'll be for another tutorial, another day. We're going to reset this entire column, matter of fact, just to make sure everything's perfect. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and hit start, guys. And once you hit start, it'll freak out a little bit for a few minutes, depending on how many lineups you decided to run or optimize. And once you do, say you hit 3, it'll take not too long at all, less than 15 seconds. And then now you'll see your optimal lineup for the night, guys. It says best optimal lineup up here. Here's your projected for the night. Here's the lineup, which includes Elfrid Payton, it looks like, Reggie Jackson, C.J. McCollum, Avery Bradley, it looks like, both shooting guards. And then your small forwards are Melo and Batum. And then you got Porzingis and Love at power forward, as well as Robin Lopez at center. And they're going to give you 299 points tonight, or a projected, total of 299. Now, if you notice, though, down here, guys, there is 2 other lineups that they did spit out. You can use these lineups as well down here. It's totally up to you. Just check the total projected to make sure that it's a pretty good number there, and it's close to the best optimal. But just so you guys know, I use this lineup right here every night that I spit out, and I do very well, and I play tournaments only. If I was to play 50-50s and double ups, which I have attempted a few nights, I come in the top 5 to 10 people every time I do that. I'm a very big tournament player, though. I love tournaments. I think it's the best way to hit the lottery, basically. And I'm a gambler, so you don't have to. But if you were to play 50-50s and double ups every single night, even triple ups and quintuple ups, I can guarantee you this right here, this lineup that spits out at the very top, will win from 75 to about 90% of the time, barring there's no injuries for the night. So if there's an injured player, say Melo and Reggie Jackson both get hurt tonight, early in the game, well, they're not going to give you many points. That could crush your lineup. That's the only thing that could deter this optimizer. Because if not, if everybody stays healthy and everybody plays as they should, then this will be the optimal line, or projected points right here. But they probably will overdo that, I would imagine. Most teams would put up, if it's a 299 here, they'll put up a 340 or probably a 327. We'll say for the night. Depends on how the games go, how fast paced they are, and stuff like that. Now, just to kind of go into depth here real quick, this column right here, column A, if you notice, this is the lineup sheet we were just on. I just clicked on FanDuel Optimizer and went to the other sheet. But if you go to column A and you go to the cell 2 and you type 0 and hit enter and then click it again, double click that little green square, on the bottom right-hand side of the cell, what that'll do is that'll reset the entire optimal lineup for the night. So basically the lineups that you just created, it just reset all of that. Now you can go in here, guys, and this is the exclude and the lock-in button. You could say you don't want to, take Steph Curry tonight. You can go ahead and get rid of Steph Curry for the night. You can exclude him. You can exclude LeBron James, say, and Andre Drummond, and say maybe even Carmelo Anthony. And if you were to hit start again, they will not be in your lineups, not a single one of them. So just, exclude players you don't like for the night. Just be careful. Make sure you're not excluding the wrong player. I'm going to include, Steph Curry whenever he's about to play, the Lakers and drop, 100 points. Just be careful. Also, if you want to lock in, say, for instance, Steph Curry, you can put an L there. You want to lock in Chris Paul, put an L there. Whatever you guys do, make sure you do not lock in too many of one position. For instance, don't lock in, John Wall and Chris Paul and, Steph Curry, because all three of those guys are point guards. Don't do that. Now I'm going to go ahead and reset this by hitting that green, square at the very bottom, like I've been doing throughout this tutorial. And I'm going to go ahead and, tell you, guys, that's it. One thing I will say, if you want to fade entire teams, what you would do is go over here, say the Clippers are playing tonight. You don't want any players from the Clippers. You can just go over here and put an X, hit enter, and it'll get rid of the whole team once again. I think I showed you guys that though already. And that's it, man, for the night. That's the tutorial. I hope you guys enjoy it, and thanks to everybody who has purchased it. Hopefully I'll give you maybe a more in-depth tutorial of how you can maybe do a couple other things, put more projections in, weight it out a little differently, maybe even mess with the season averages, which is a hidden tab on here. This is the column for season averages, just so you know. However, I do not touch that ever. I think that is pretty stupid if you base your lineups off of the season average, considering injuries and stuff like that. But anyways, guys, that's the tutorial. I hope it helped everybody. Enjoy, and have a good night.